So next heat is heat number 2, lane 2, Rangiruru Girls School number 2, lane 3, Wanaka number 1, lane 4, Columba College number 1, lane 5, Otago Girls number 2, lane 6, Christchurch Girls High School number 3, lane 7, Ashburn number 1, and lane 8 is North End number 1. Be a good performance from the inside crew. I think that might be, doesn't look like Rangi, looks like Columba Girls College number 1, as well as on the outside that might be North End number 1 or Ashburton. That's coming through the K. Rangi just looks to be a bit further back in this women's novice coxed quadruple sculls, having to work their way up. So we will be awaiting that men's open coxed 8. That's set to go at about 10:15, and then we've also got the women's open coxless quadruple sculls. So not long to go in the racing. There's a crew that's performing well out there. It actually could be that Rangiruru crew in lane number 2. So I might have written them off. I might have mistaken them. It is, in fact, the blue, white, yellow, and Rangi that is putting on a bit of a clinic out there. They did very well in the under 15A. Now they're looking to do well in this novice cox quadruple sculls. This is just a heats race. They'll have to see how their times size up against these other crews. I'd say the other crew performing well there is Ashburton, number 1. That's Eve Marshall, Harper, Tuatavaki, Gretchen Ross, Summer Tilson, and Isabel Wool is the coxswain of that boat. Inside of them, currently in 3rd, would be Christchurch Girls High School, number 3, or Wanaka, number 1, in lane number 3. So it'll be a 1, 2, 3. They'll get into the A final here, and then that one next fastest. There'll be no A final for this race, but Rangiruru wrote them off before, but they're performing brilliantly in lane number 2. Not a too high rating there, just looking like a really controlled recovery. Ashburn, number 1, not rating too high as well. So this is Rangiruru crew. This is their number 2 crew. This is Martha Richards, Jasmine Collins, Zoe Clements, Georgia Kelso, and then Isla J is the cox. They're through to the last 250 now. Just seeing on the inside of them, Wanaka number 1's definitely working their way up there. I think they might be putting on a bit of a charge in this novice cox quadruple scull. So Wanaka number 1 trying to get their name up there into the top 3. Christchurch Girls High School will need to watch that. And then Ashburn College is through to the yellow boys now. Looking to be very close between 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here. But number 1 is clear. It's Rangiruru. They're not rating high. They're just making the most of that drive. They're just holding on to their finish a bit there. So that means they've got room to go. Ashburn College, though, performing well. And then watch the charge from Wanaka trying to get into 3rd place here. Wanaka would be looking to qualify for this A final. Rangiruru, though, just make it look easy there. They're back because of the new rowing sheds. That's what's making them so good, I reckon. And then we'd be looking at Ashburn through the last 100 metres now. Then Wanaka potentially through now. And Christchurch Girls High School through as well. So very close race between those two. So Rangi's through. Then we'll be looking at Ashburn College comfortably in 2nd. And then watch for Wanaka. I think they're just a canvas ahead of this Christchurch Girls High School crew. Christchurch Girls High School, Georgia Dean, the cox here, probably just wants them to get up a bit more. Don't think they're going to reach them in time. It looks to be half a canvas going over the line. Wanaka's going to get Christchurch Girls High School for the 4th. And looking at Otago Girls in lane number 5. Back to lane number 4, which is Columba. And then North End in that yellow boat rounding out the field there. Okay, so final heat coming down now. Lane 2 is Canterbury number 1. Lane 3, Otago Girls number 1. Lane 4, Invercargill number 1. Lane 5, Rangiruru Girls number 1. Lane 6, Christchurch Girls High School number 1. Lane 7, Oamaru number 1. Lane 8, Burnside High School number 1. And it looks to be Rangiruru number 1. Not mistaken here this time. It is the yellow and blue of Rangiruru trying to get 2 crews into this A final. And then on the outside there, also performing well, it's Burnside High School number 1. I'd say they're currently sitting in maybe that 3rd spot. Because inside of that Rangiruru Girls School is Invercargill number 1. Just in a bit of a tussle with Canterbury number 1. So that's Canterbury number 1 crew is Monique Lee, Georgia Williams, Lily Davidson, Natalie Walsh, and Zoe Sullivan is the cox of that crew. That's lane number 2 you're looking at, but Rangiruru just into that last 400 metres, I'd say. Again, just like that other crew, I think they were rating a little bit higher than them. A little bit more rating coming from that Rangiruru number 1 crew compared to their number 2 crew. Definitely not as large of a margin, because inside of them, Invercargill number 1 is performing well out here. Invercargill number 1 would be sitting in 2nd. Then big battle is going to come from Otago Girls number 1 in lane 3. And Burnside High School in lane 8 for that 3rd spot. I'd say it's currently sitting with Otago Girls right now. And a nice camera shot as we go into the last 250 here. We are looking at Rangiruru Girls. They are going into the last 250 now, looking like a very similar performance to the heat before. Rangiruru is well clear of the rest of the competition. So great work coming from the girls from Rangi. Then we'd be looking at Canterbury. Not Canterbury, that's Invercargill. Invercargill's just under a bit of pressure coming from this Otago girls crew. So Otago girls stepping it up. They're trying to walk through this Invercargill crew. I don't think they're going to do it, but because if they're doing that, that's going to get them away from this Burnside crew. So Rangiruru is sitting in 1st. Through the 100 metres they go. Then we go to Invercargill sitting in 2nd. Then we go to Otago Girls sitting in 3rd. Just watching that charge coming from Burnside High School. Then we go to lane 2, Canterbury number 1 sitting in 5th to Christchurch Girls High School in lane number 6. Back outside to Oamaru number 1. Rangiruru into the last 20 metres they go now. Invercargill sitting just a length up on that Otago Girls crew. And then Otago Girls sitting a length up on Burnside. Just a couple dodgy strokes coming from that Otago crew. Invercargill's going to get clear water on them. Otago in turn have clear water on that Burnside crew, and then Burnside have clear water on Canterbury. Then a bit of a larger gap to Christchurch Girls High School number 1, and then a bit of a tussle with Oamaru number 1. So we got some good races coming up. Boys under 15 coxed octuple sculls is up next. Then we have the men's open cox day. That should be a cracker. And then the women's open coxless quadruple sculls, which should be great as well. But currently right now we're looking at the boys under 15 cox quadruple sculls, and I'm seeing a great performance come from the lane number 3, Christchurch Boys High School number 2. Then we go to lane 4, Otago Boys High number 1. Lane 5, St. Bede's College number 1. Lane 6, Christ College number 1. And lane 7, Christchurch Boys High School number 1. And lane 8, St. Andrews College number 1. So just seeing one crew well off the pace. The rest look pretty tight together. I think that might be Christchurch Boys High School number 1. Number 2 crew's performing well out there. And then also, maybe that's Otago Boys there in lane number 4, a bit off the pace. So look for the black and red of St. Bede's performing well. Then I'm seeing Otago Boys High School performing well out there. Otago Boys High School, St. Bede's, and who else is there on the outside of St. Bede's? That looks to be the black and white of Christ College. So it's lanes 4, 5, and 6, the favoured lanes, as well as I think that might be yellow. Oh, so that might be Wakatipu. They're not on my sheet, but they might be in this, and they look to be performing well. In fact, they could be winning this. So the boys from Wakatipu in lane number 2 there, performing well. Christ College in a bit of a battle with Bede's there, as well as Otago Boys High School. Then would be going outside to St Andrews College number 1, back inside to Christchurch Boys High School number 1 and Christchurch Boys High School number 2. So it is in fact Wakatipu leading by 3/4 of a length. I'd say St Bede's have the slight advantage over Christ College by a canvas. Then St Bede's have half a length on Otago Boys High School. So big battle coming for that 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Right now, though, Wakatipu putting on a bit of a clinic in lane number 2. Look at that rating. They're nice and flat, very quick, attacking from the front. That's what you want to know, octuple. Very quick timing. Oh, looks like they've taken a few rough strokes there. But that Wakatipu crew definitely rating high, and they look in sync. They're making it look easy. Other crews just looking a bit slower, and I've just realized that is not a Bede's octuple. That is a Bede's 8. So Bede's making it harder for themselves. They said, we don't want to race our 8 in the under 15 8. We want to race it in the under 15 octuple, and they're doing well here. They're going through Otago Boys High School and Christ College. Will they catch this Wakatipu crew? I don't know. Wakatipu attacking it hard from the front. They've got that rating right up. They're quick with the hands away. Then we go to St. Bede's in 2nd. Christ College trying to challenge them. Christ College look like they have a slower recovery, just taking care of it, but very quick and accelerated off the front. So Christ College looking to go through Bede's here and try and climb up on this Wakatipu crew. That Wakatipu coxswain, not sure what his name is, but he'll be watching the charge from them. But I can tell you the Christ College coxswain's name there is Alex Innes, watching the charge from Bede's, and he's through. Christ College is going through St. Bede's under 15-8, so Christ College is walking the red and black of St. Bede's from the Waimak. Otago Boys High School have just dropped back. So it's going to be Wakatipu half a length over Christ College. Christ College have stormed into 2nd place. Christ College are really walking here, and they're underrating it as well. 3 seats to Wakatipu, 5 seats to Christ over St. Bede's. St. Bede's have Clearwater on Otago Boys High School. And now I'm seeing the other crews come through. That's not Otago, that is St. Andrews College, currently in 5th, and a bit of an island right there. Then we go back to the Christchurch Boys crews. But this is the race we want to see. It is the men's open coxed 8. Lane number 1, St. Andrews College number 1. Lane number 2, St. Bede's College number 1. Lane 3 is Avon number 3. Lane 4 is Dunstanarm number 1. Lane 5, Avon number 1. Lane 6, Avon number 2. Lane 7, Christ College number 1. Lane 8 is St. Thomas of Canterbury number 1. And lane 9 is Oamaru. We'll expect those Avon crews to be in front. Those 2 senior crews, no high school crews going to run over those guys. Then we'd potentially be looking at Christ College, the black and the white. So Bede's College and St. Andrews, St. Thomas as well. Those will be crews looking for the Marty Cup this year. Christ College haven't won it since 2021. They'll be looking to notch another one on the belt. But look at these 2 Avon crews currently in a battle. It's lane number 5, Avon number 1, Jimmy Midlachich, Scott Shackleton, Will Johnson, Benjamin Ashman, Hunter Pethersbrook, Ben Allen, Power Sullivan, Fergus Johnson, and Tim Heritage, the coxswain. Lane 6 is Avon number 2, Sam Wilson, Luke Tompkins, Charles Beale, Ted Main, Harry Galvin, Josh Syme, Matthew Glenn, and William McIntosh, with Ashley Tacken as the cox there. So it is a battle between these 2 Avon crews. I'd say we're looking at Dunstanarm in 3rd. Last 400 metres is the big race of the day. I'd say we are looking at lane 5. Avon number 1 looks to be leading by maybe just 3/4 of a length over this Avon number 2 crew. These 2 crews will be looking to get sub 6. Then we go back out to Dunstanarm, and leading the high school crews looks to be Christ College. The black and white of Christ College are doing it. They're rolling over that Bede's 8. They're rolling over St. Thomas there, performing well. Then we go back on the inside to St. Andrews College. But here comes the 2 Avon crews. They've got their rating up high, and it looks like Avon number 2 is coming in for another attack. Last 250 now. It's the 2 Avon crews are coming in hot. So Avon number 1 is lane number 5. They've got a slight lead over their number 2 crew. It looks to be just under half a length. So Avon number 2's coming in hot. Avon number 2's got their rating right up. Who's the stroke setting that boat? It might be William McIntosh. William McIntosh is making a charge here in this men's open coxed 8. He's trying to get these boys rolling over their number 1 crew. So watch Avon number 2. They enter the last 100 now, and they've completely walked this Avon number 1 crew. Avon number 1 crew dropping that back as Avon number 2 has made a big charge here. They're winding through the line. Dunstan Arms sitting further back in field. It's going to be a length to Avon number 2 over Avon number 1. Dunstan Arms sitting a length and a half back on Avon number 2. Christ College moving through Avon number 3. Christ College has done well here. John T. Gray, the coxswain of that boat. We won't see the impact and make its debut in this regatta. Avon number 3 sitting in a tight battle with St. Thomas. Then we go back to St. Bede's in lane number 2. St. Andrews rounding out the field there. So Christ College sitting in 4th by Clearwater. Then we go to Avon number 3, canvas up over St. Thomas. Then we go to the Bede's 8, sitting just a length down. Then 2 lengths back on them is St. Andrews College number 1. So great wind coming from Avon number 2 there. Hopefully we'll be looking at some sub-6 times for that race, but Twizel's got a bit slower water than up north. I think that Senior 8 last year went 5:45. Get those times over here. Then we are looking now at the women's open coxless quadruple sculls. Final race of the day, lane 1 Invercargill number 1, lane 2 Avon number 3, lane 3 Avon number 1, lane 4 Cure Boating Club number 1, lane 5 Dunstan Arm number 2, lane number 6 is Dunstan Arm number 1, lane 7 is Avon number 2, lane 8 Nelson number 1, and then lane 9 is Avon number 4. So just in the first K are they now. I think they might be just experiencing a wee bit more wind, but not a whole lot. Right, and it does look to be a Dunstan Arm crew leading the field here, but it looks to be pretty close between 4 crews, 2 Dunstan Arm, 2 Avon, then we go back to Cure Boating Club. So it looks to be the Dunstan Arm crew on the inside. There's lane number 5, Dunstan Arm number 2, Bella Breen, Ruby Smith, Mackenzie Elson, and Freddie Todhunter. Then we are actually going inside to Avon, that might be Avon number 3. No, Avon number 1 in lane number 3, Sam Rankin, Poppy Wyndham, Mania Butler, and Alia O'Sullivan. Then we'd be looking at Dunstan Arm number 1 sitting in 3rd, Millie Scott, Olivia Pybinger, Olivia Key, and Emma Spittle. That is coming through the K. So we'll watch those crews. I'd say probably sitting in 4th is Avon number 2, Tori Cox, Sienna Skilling, Katie Bell, and Molly Judson. So currently looking at a battle between Dunstan Arm and Avon number 1. So Dunstan Arm number 2, Avon number 1, lane 5. Freddie Todhunter stroking that boat. She would have been busy over in America. And now she's back in New Zealand racing against some of the best that we have to offer. And Avon number 1, Sam Rankin, Poppy Wyndham, Mania Butler, and Alia O'Sullivan are looking to challenge this Dunstan Arm crew. So it's the red and white of Avon versus the green, yellow, and blue of Dunstan Arm. So Dunstan Arm does look to be leading it, coming through into the final stages of the race. Last 500 metres. Dunstan Arm trying to put the foot down on Avon, but it looks like Avon might be coming back on the inside there. So that's Avon number 1, Sam Rankin, Poppy Wyndham, Mania Butler, and Alia O'Sullivan looking to wind it to the line. It looks like they've got their rating right up. These coxless quads go very fast. There's no coxswain weighing them down in the bow. Bit less stable, but that won't matter in these flat conditions. These rows are the open ones, so they're the best of the best. They'll know how to row. And it looks like Avon number 1 is making a charge. It looks like they're trying to fight for the lead over the Dunstan Arm crew. I think Dunstanarm's coming back. Actually, Dunstanarm number 2 is leading it actually over their number 1 crew. The number 1 crew in a bit of a tussle with Avon number 2. That's Tori Cox, Senna Skilling, and Katie Bell and Molly Judson in that Avon number 2 boat. So can Dunstanarm go 1 and 2 here? Because I think Dunstanarm number 2 is leading it. Bella Breen, Ruby Smith, Mackenzie Elson, and Freddie Todd Hunter just leading over that Avon crew, as well as Dunstanarm number 1. So Dunstanarm number 1 in lane 6, Millie Scott, Olivia Pybinga, Olivia Key, and Emma Spittle. So Dunstanarm's leading it. Then we go to Avon number 1 and Dunstanarm number 1 in a tight battle for that second place. And watch on the outside, it is Avon number 2, Tori Cox, Hannah Skilling, Katie Bell, and Molly Judson. Molly Judson's just decided to wind it up and try and get past Dunstanarm number 2. Watch Cure Boating Club number 1 as well in lane number 4, try and get up into this top 3. So it's the 2 Avon crews and Dunstanarm number 1 all fighting for that second and third position. But through the 100-metre mark goes Dunstanarm number 2. They're ahead by Clearwater. Watch the battle for the second and third. I think it's happening between Avon number 2 and Dunstanarm number 1. They're pushing off each other. Who's going to get it? Dunstanarm number 1 looks like they're trying to wind it to the line, but here comes Avon number 2. Avon number 2 really walking here. These two crews have fought their way past the Avon number 1 crew on the inside. I think it's going to be Dunstanarm taking it by half a canvas. Dunstanarm number 1 taking it by half a canvas over Avon number 2. Then we go lane number 3, Avon number 1 in 4th. Cure Boating Club in 5th. Go to lane number 2. Avon number 3 in 6th. Then right on the outside, that's Avon number 4. And then rounding out the field, not quite, is Nelson number 1. Then we have Invercargill rounding out the field. So that's the final race of the day. Thank you all for coming and watching this racing. Much better weather today than it was yesterday, so got to be grateful for that.